It's Black History Month. We got all the Grammys. Come on, man. We feeling good today. I mean, although the world is collapsing around us, we are still our great, beautiful black selves. Although mine is a little less because it is the wintertime.
Right. Yeah, we're in our sugar cookie era right now.
Yeah. This is the I gotta use the filter.
Yeah.
Where's the filter that had a little more color?
Swipe right, put on the Los Angeles filter. Yeah. Yeah.
Have y'all ever gotten suntan?
What do you mean, like
What?
tanning?
In life?
Like your
What are you
spray
talking about?
tan? Like
Oh,
have
no,
y'all ever?
no.
What, do I look like Donald Trump? I'm
just asking. No,
Actually go
like
into
a
like a
tanning
tanning bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I heard those things are really bad
Or like
for you.
a spray? Do you have a spray?
I would
No,
never.
I mean, if I was ever to do like a
bronzer.
show, I would have to do that. But like,
Yeah, I did a documentary. They gave me a little powder, but
Yeah.
no. I mean, again, I went to Mexico over the break, and that shit's gone now. Like I tried it, you know what I mean, but no.
I mean, we
if
gonna
it ain't
be,
natural, no.
We about to head out in like 2 weeks though. So
2 weeks, yes. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah, we're gonna end Black History Month, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. Hot boy winter. hot boy Black History
Fine.
Month.
So, well, I am just
Hopefully you can get back in. Okay.
Oh shit, that is true. We're not leaving the
Hold
country.
on.
but if we were-
We gotta talk about what happened to me on Thursday.
Yes. Farouk Al Saeed. They gonna be looking at your passport heavy.
Man, yo, I mean, we're gonna be close to Cuba. They might be like, you know what? You might as well just go, nigga.
Just stay there. I'm just Syriax. I'm back. Co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. You know what I'm saying? That was a whole, I don't know if the United Nations, that was an ill experience. But let's start to our
I believe in miracles.
Yes.
It's your girl, Miracle.
I believe in miracles.
I haven't slept in like 2 days, so I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
I'm not, but I'm just here. I'm running off a lot of pre-workout that's about to end.
Not all of us getting tuberculosis. Like, Lord.
And you've entered Black History Month ready to rumble. With all
So there
your
you go,
ops.
telling my business again.
Ops beware.
We're rumbling and tumbling.
When miracles go, we all go.
Yeah, that's
you know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
You getting jumped over here. Well, I don't
Legally,
know. Is that-
legally,
yes,
legally.
legally jumped.
We have a team of lawyers now. We're like Drake.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
wow.
We can't be in the streets no more.
That is true. That is
Man.
true. Yes. Yeah, he didn't have a good.
We have a corporation now.
I don't know. Like, we'll have to ask. Like, once it's all said and done, was it last weekend or will it be this weekend that's worse for Drake? Right? Will it be not like us 10 times in a row at the Super Bowl, or like this man winning like 4 Grammys about a song calling you a pedophile?
Not to interject, but someone said the lesson of this is don't pay people and choose violence.
Yes, they did say that. Choose irrational violence all the time,
Yeah.
every time. Well, speaking of the opposite of that, right? The calming, chill guy.
Listen, sometimes we do choose violence, but all the time we choose peace.
Yes.
It's your boy Trevor NLS, Never Like Supremacy, Next Level Shaman. You know the vibes.
Yes, we know the vibes. And sir, you have an interesting hat on today.
Yeah, I'm just here. Hey, I'm here as a messenger.
Oh, and the message is
Canada is not for sale.
Oh, okay.
We're not. Nope. We are a sovereign nation. Doesn't matter what our relationship is to the crown. Canada's, even though we are the dominion of England, we are still our own country.
But maybe
we are
you
proud.
maybe you need protection from the United States. I mean,
I mean, that's a solid point. I'm not gonna lie
by
to
the
you.
United States.
By the United States, I don't know, but you know, yeah, the protector of the crown has not failed us yet. So,
Well,
yeah,
so it's been a wild beginning to Black History Month.
yeah. I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say the year, but yeah, Black History Month.
Well,
also.
I mean,
It's already been a decade.
yeah.
I mean,
I feel like I've aged 3 years
yeah,
already.
but when it starts with planes are falling out of the sky and it's because of DEI.
Oh, I see what you did. There.
Ah,
Yeah, I see what you did.
oh,
there.
a little
Yeah.
rhyme. Now we're and this is what Trump said. You know, a helicopter crashed into a plane.
How was Boeing not brought back into this conversation?
I have, well, again, supposedly it's wild because Trump just went and just blamed the military. Like the wild part is like the things that he can do and say. Like if Joe Biden came out and blamed the military, these Republicans would be going crazy.
Yeah.
He blamed the military. He hates the military. Trump came out and blamed the military off top.
Said the Black Hawk helicopter is flying too low.
Yeah, or flying too high.
Or flying too high.
Whatever
Said
it was. And nobody says a word.
Nah.
But, Trump's message was this, or did you want to play the clip? That this crash was before an investigation had even begun.
Yeah.
He came to his own conclusions. And what are they? Well, they're obviously racist as Donald Trump. What do you think they would be?
In office, they put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program. Then another article, the Federal Aviation Administration, this was before I got to office, recently, second term. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities,
Jesus Christ.
psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? These are people that are, actually their lives are shortened because of the stress that they have. Brilliant people have to be in those positions, and their lives are actually shortened, very substantially shortened because of the stress.
You could pause that.
Trump looking kind of dark-skinned right now. He looked like original recipe.
Miracle obviously talked about Trump getting that spray tan that me and you refuse to get. We're just going to be a little lighter in the wintertime.
Trump looked like orange and yellow was not a good combination.
There's a whole conversation about the fact that this man is clearly wearing makeup as a man, but he's still like manly, even though there's all of this conversation around what's manly and what's not. And I would love to get into a conversation with some of these MAGA folks about it, but we probably never will.
I have a question now about all of this. Right here, thank you. Since we're having this conversation about DEI and the FAA, and airlines and travel, does that mean Spirit is the DEI airline?
Okay.
Oh wow. I don't know if that's the case.
Is flying Spirit flying DEI?
That's your MAGA
Miracle. Yes. I guess the jokes are back, right? We're coming with the jokes. But question,
I guess that one didn't land.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're full. You went full MAGA. In the first
I was like,
30 seconds.
This is not a good joke.
This is my question, Miracle.
That's your best friend. That's the man you chose.
You
saw him.
Yeah.
You knew what he thought like, and you were like, you know what? We should be friends.
So
It's
Miracle.
been 20 years this summer.
Miracle. So this is my question, because clearly, this is their plan, right? This is Trump's plan, and it's to blame. He's very happy for himself.
I'm sorry.
It's to blame immigrants, migrants, black people. Can this work for 4 years? Can Trump just continue to do this? And every time something happens, it's the fault of black people. By the way, it's all this conversation about black people only making up 4% of DEI hires. That the highest proponent of DEI hires is white women by far, right? Can he keep doing this? And will there be a point where maybe 2 years down the line and the economy skyrocketing where some of these MAGA people will be like, nah, bro, we really need to see you do something? Or can he just continue to blame black people and migrants for all the problems that America has?
I feel like that's the last 250 years.
I was about to say, yeah.
Oh, shit, wow.
I feel like there's white flight for a thing.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
They're taking our jobs has been a thing. There's always been a blaming of an immigrant for something. So I do foresee him being able to do it. And they're changing it. So J.D. Vance did an interview, and I forgot what it was saying. And he was like, it's not that DEI is causing these issues. It's the thought of DEI being impacted that's causing this issue. So now black people don't even have to be anywhere near a situation.
We thought about
it. And it can be like, we thought there could have been a black person or an immigrant. So now we're stressed out and we can't do our job right. And so therefore it's still your fault. So like it is crazy. And again, like I said last time, only white people get to sit there and say that my incompetence and my ignorance gets to protect me from the realities of my consequences and the choices that I have made. Because literally, the plane was flying.
Yes.
The plane, boss. The plane.
The plane was flying. Yes.
And allegedly, it was because it's a military plane. It is not going to have the same alert.
The black helicopter.
Then a normal plane was like, I'm not expecting to see a military plane.
Yeah, that was the question I had at first.
Right
like,
now,
why is
landing at my little domestic airport?
Right.
And so this was something that was like caused. But again, when you are ramping up for war, this is what life looks like.
Also, you had this piece where Elon Musk, who has been somebody who now, even though he was not elected, he was appointed to this position by President Trump, and he was, and he has this unprecedented amount of power as somebody who is also an immigrant, right? But as somebody who's a billionaire, he has this.
He's the right kind of immigrant.
Right. He has this
the white kind of immigrant.
Yeah, the white kind of immigrant, and then the wealthy kind of immigrant, right? So it speaks differently. And again, so he can do all these things and people will make excuses for him because he's this white wealthy man, and he has this power, but that he came in and fired the head of the FAA, right? The Federal Aviation.
That was before he forced him.
This is something that he did like a week before. We see now, like all these planes a plane fell out of the sky over Philadelphia, planes are catching fire, all this stuff is happening, but it's like you fired all these head, how is Elon Musk granted this level of power to then go in and make these decisions? And they said it was supposedly because the FAA fined SpaceX. And so this was something that he was upset about.
We see so many pieces of media about like this happening in fiction that is the fact that it's become a real, like there's cartoon, there's anime, there's where you have like this rich billionaire, like Elon Musk is like Lex Luthor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just like coming in and fucking shit up. Yes. It's crazy that like we have proof of why these are terrible things, but people keep believing in them.
Yes.
I don't know.
Again, I mean, you have something to say, Trouble?
Yeah, so I feel like this is associated with a characteristic of white supremacy culture called qualified. And if you don't mind, I'd like to read a little bit about it. It says, this particular characteristic is internalized primarily by middle and owning class white people, formally educated, who are taught by the culture that they are qualified and even duty bound to fix, save, and set straight the world. Closely aligned with dominant mainstream Christian ideology that teaches a Christian duty to convert the heathen, the savage, the impure. This characteristic is particularly violent both psychically and physically in its determination to ignore and or erase the culture, wisdom, genius, joy of people and communities being saved while seizing their land, labor, architecture, music, food, and other material goods to commodify their profit. And it says, I want to stress that while the intention to fix, save, and set straight is often overt, the deviousness of this characteristic is how strongly white middle and owning class educated people can internalize and assume their own inherent qualifications to improve what is in front of them that is broken without acknowledging or seeing their role in breaking it. This internalized assumption becomes an unnamed way of being, a conditioned impulse to help others out of what feels like a benign sense that they know the right way, the best way, with little or no understanding of how limited they really are.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's interesting because it ends up now, and that's what I was kind of saying when I was asking you that question, because we're seeing literally Trump gets in office, people in the FAA get fired, planes are falling out of the sky, And it seems like it's a natural
dogs and cats getting along.
Yes, but I'm just saying it seems like it's a natural like 1 + 1 = 2. But yet because of white supremacy, it's actually and kind of like because of what Miracle's saying, it's actually like, oh no, look over here. It's actually because of like the thought that it wasn't none of the pilots were black. Or right, but the thought that possibly there might be
they have black friends.
Right,
that's why the plane's crashing.
Play the clip that his and who is this woman? What's her name?
I don't know. Becky Blonde Hair. I don't know.
Carolyn Levitt.
Sure. Okay.
Caroline Levitt. It's funny they had that picture of her and the way she was standing. The back of it said whitewashing.
Oh, I didn't.
It was kind of fascinating. But play her clip, please.
When you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense.
I mean, when do you even see the pilot?
It's Black History Month. I do like when my pilot is black, and they stand there and they welcome me into the airplane. But I also want to point out, amongst all of this foolishness, is you can't just like go into a plane and like fly it.
Yes,
right.
Correct.
There is a flight school. There are tests.
Are you sure?
Yes. There are tests that you have to pass.
What
right?
if you had Popeye's chicken for?
Listen, Don Julio Popeyes called me. I'm very mad that this is not in Pittsburgh, but be that as it may.
What did I miss?
But be that they have a collab, but it's not in Pittsburgh.
Don Julio and Popeyes,
because you know we have to be a sponsor place to sell alcohol.
Oh, okay. That's how they was doing the Popeye section thing on Instagram. Oh,
but be that as a man, like I was saying.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna pause.
Yes.
First of all, black people finding joy in times of despair is not ratchet, right?
Come on, there you go.
Black people coming together,
fried chicken,
coming together, and whether it is Popeyes, a grocery store,
Miracle, let's call it what it is. That was some bullshit. That was some
club,
bullshit.
That is joy and celebration. It's called community and culture.
Yeah,
it's
Yes. I agree with
let
you.
Let me see.
Go ahead.
But again,
now, if I would have said this is the legacy of the freedmen, then there would be an issue, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. I just want to check in. I just want to check in with your friend. I just wanted to finish.
My question to that point is, what's wrong with being ratchet?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm as hood as fuck. I just act civilized, but like celebrating a section of Popeye. Come on. Like,
come on. Just a little party. People have no party at Chuck E. Cheese. People have because
Chuck E. Cheese don't exist no more.
Yes, it does. They're actually even bringing back like adult nights because not all
these because
all these adults want to heal their children, their inner childhood. And so now they're having little adult parties at Chuck E. Cheese. But be that as it may,
whiskey company came and put some shit with some poutine. Now you be all happy.
Am I going to get a section because of it?
Tim Hortons and some whatever.
I'm not getting a section of Timmy's.
Shit.
I'm not doing a Timmy's run.
But anyway, these pilots are qualified to be there. It's not just like anyone.
It's not so plain.
Fly.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay.
Hey yo. So I have to be here. So Farouk had to be. What'd you say? What did he say?
That was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
what did he say?
I said, well, those were so plain.
Oh wow. Yeah. God damn. So
we were trying to prove that we can have an intelligent conversation.
Exactly. Right. He had to be serious because he was in the seat.
We were trying to get fired.
Yes. Gotcha.
But now you're back.
Now
you know us.
We can just introducing the topics. He can just be as crazy as he want to be. I'll say this, Miracle. If I get on a plane and I see a black pilot or I see a Latino or Chicano pilot, right? I know that they had to work like 10 times harder to get to that position than if I see some regular white person, because that's the reality of the country that we live in, that for us to get those positions and to excel, we have to go above and beyond just a regular thing. So oftentimes if you see a black person, it's like, oh, this is somebody that's actually more qualified because of what we have to go through just to get in those seats in that position.
So I have a message for the audience, right? If you are a Trumper, I hope Trumpers watch this show.
Oh, they do.
Yes.
They do.
Even if you're just someone who listens to the rhetoric that Trump spews out, right?
Yes.
I want you to be careful in not accepting what he says to be like the end all be all and the overarching truth of the matter, right? Because here we are looking at a situation where innocent people have lost their lives.
Yes.
Because of a mistake that we're unaware of, because what we keep hearing from Trump is that the fault is DEI.
Yes.
When there could be a deeper reason, there could be other things at fault that cause these things to happen.
Right.
And him telling us that it's DEI is just pushing his narrative. And I hope that you can see that, and I hope that you question it further.
And this is the deep, well, again, and he took it a step further. He just appointed a guy named Darren Beatty, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Who was fired from his first administration. And the reason he was fired because he attended a white nationalist conference. Like, not only so he's like fully embraced as a white nationalist, and he tweeted out in October.
Oh, yeah, this is crazy.
Competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work.
Wow.
I mean, they were for a long time, and look where that got you.
Hey,
Unfortunately,
we're right back at this qualified.
But again,
Yeah.
he said, unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing competent white men.
He
But
essentially
they're not
said,
competent though. That's
Right,
the
yeah,
issue.
yeah,
'Cause,
like-
you got, Pete had said, somebody was like,
competent is in finger quotes.
somebody was like, the philandering alcoholic is now
Yeah.
the person in charge. Like, and you had to promise that he would not drink in order to be able to do his job.
Right.
Right. Has not had a leadership position, was in the military, left the military, and was working as a political analyst where he was getting hit in the balls on his job.
Wait, what?
Yes, somebody was there playing a game and it was an accident and it went whoop in his job. Right, he was not making decisions about national security prior to this. Right, he had, we call it a gap in his resume for real lived experience.
Yes.
And it's out there. None of the people that he has put in these positions are actually seemingly qualified for experience to do. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
To do these jobs. So when they F up, like Elon Musk is doing, when
Planes fall out of the sky.
everything starts to go bad, it can be like, oh well, they didn't know. This is not going to reveal anything. 4% of black people, okay, we go and get other jobs. What are you going to do? Say, oh well, the 4% are gone, but now I still got to be in this position. You are just giving people money. You are actually doing DEI hires at this point.
Right, but in their mind, Miracle, their competence is tied to them being white. See, in their mind, competent means they're white men. So he didn't say, and this is the man, they say he was tweeting on January 6th. He tweeted, Tim Scott needs to learn his place and take a knee to MAGA. BLM must take a knee to MAGA and learn their place. Ibram Kendi needs to learn his place and take a knee to MAGA.
These are the things. Wow,
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. But this is a dude that's an open white supremacist. But again, it's like, so competent white men to him, Peach Headstep is a competent white man because he is a white man. Like, being white means you're competent. And, to Elon Musk, to them, it's like he's white and he's wealthy. He's reached this pinnacle of what a lot of people want to reach in capitalist society. Therefore, he's competent. Knowing that, like, when you look at the business, again, that's what people believe that Donald Trump. Look, he's rich. It didn't matter that his dad lent him his money or he went bankrupt all of these times. It's like he projects this image of what these white people want.
He's
and so
millionaire.
Right. And so therefore he's competent. I mean, come on. I mean, RFK. I mean, again, it's everybody that's being, and they're all being okayed. So now it's like, okay, when this shit goes down, I thought y'all was competent white men.
They'll find a way to blame DEI.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're ultimately going to find a way to blame us. And
they'll blame Obama.
It's Biden's fault.
Right.
And that's what Trump said. The guy actually said, like, oh, these policies were in place when you were president in 2016 and 2020. Why didn't you change them then? Yeah. Oh, no, I did change them. And again, he just will lie and say any bullshit. And anything he says, folks will believe him. In fact,
he really banks on the fact that his voters don't read.
Well, not only do his voters not read, but that they will be, I guess, duped into believing the things that he said. For instance, you had a black man for Trump. What is the guy's name? It's like, wait, hold on. Let me find it. Because he has a Muslim name, too. It's like Malik something.
Does he really?
Yes.
That's embarrassing.
Yes. Malik Abdul, who is the president of the African Americans for Donald Trump.
They down bad right now. They down real bad. You niggas is looking sad. Like, you man is hurting.
Black Americans. I'm sorry. He's the GOP strategist and member of Black Americans for Trump coalition. This is what he had to say about Trump blaming DEI on all the ills that is hitting the United States of America.
The woke right, on the right, who were literally saying that I think the male pilot had 1,000 hours, this phantom female pilot had 500 hours of training time. They don't know anything about what the requirements are. They don't know how long that person had been in service. Donald Trump appealing to these people in his second week when we're not talking about the economy. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about DEI, and he had no evidence, and people are out there defending it. I'm not going to get on television to defend it. I want Donald Trump to know you are making it hard for us who are not looking for a payout or some sort of association or the social media influence behind supporting Donald Trump or any politician. We want to support you because we believe in what you're doing, and when you get out here and do this stuff around DEI, knowing that this support that he's gotten from black people, this uptick, it's not permanent. Meaning that you're going to have to.
I don't see how you can support him. I have to be honest. I don't see how you can make excuses for him. I don't see how you can try to explain it.
Again, it would be interesting to say, hey, Malik, I mean, he just nominated this dude that said only competent white men could run this shit. Like,
Trump's every one of Trump's appointees, every single one, the ambassador to France, all his family members, Pete Hegseth, Matt Gaetz, Elon, for the sake of it pertains to politics, they're all DEI hires.
Yes,
by definition, literally. They're felons.
Yes,
they're people that have intellectual disabilities.
Yes,
these are people who would
right. Elon's dad said that they thought that he was
special. The R word.
Yes, special. Thank you.
He was really enthusiastic about things, right? And occasionally, but they're all DEI hires by definition, like literally.
Yes.
And it's wild to me that this attack on DEI is not had a mirror placed in front of it by this administration.
And it is again, but it's also wild that a black man for Trump. Like, you didn't see him rallying all of these white supremacists and Nazis around him.
And this is the thing. Like, you know what I mean?
You thought they was gonna be cool with you.
Yeah. Like, I don't feel bad for these people who have watched their worlds falling asunder. Yes. I don't feel bad for the people that have caught violent blowback at the hand of these Trump supporters in just the few weeks that he's been in office, that are coming to terms with reality in a very violent and sudden way. Like, this is what you asked for, and this is what you got. So, you know what I mean? You're going to have to sit there and then, just take it. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say, nigga. Like, yo, you out here caping for Trump, and now Trump is abandoned you once he got back in the Oval Office. What do you think is going to happen? Like,
did you want to speak on that, Miracle?
I'm sorry.
I would say that Trump ran on making the economy better. Mm-hmm. He is unable to do that.
Eggs is high as
there's no eggs. I was at the grocery store and there was no eggs.
I said it on Instagram. I'm gonna say this.
Niggas gonna be buying chicken.
We the last generation to know what it felt like to have eggs and milk
when
real
food.
Let me say this real fast.
But that ain't ratchet, huh? We ain't got no eggs.
I mean, it's whack. What do you want me to say about that?
No, I'm just
I like eggs.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, I'm about to say, I put seasoning on my eggs too.
They said Waffle House is putting a surcharge on every egg that they sell.
I was in the store. It's no eggs.
Wow, I said this. I said this before. I said this over the weekend on Instagram, and I'm gonna say it right here. All you people who have voted for Trump and having this situation blow up in your face, right? I bet you wish that the chickens that have come home to roost laid affordable eggs.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Well, I bet they would. Anyway, so I was saying is he hasn't been able to improve the economy.
No.
So what he has now is distraction tactics.
Yes,
which is going after DEI, going after marginalized communities,
sleight of hand.
because he has nothing to show for the improvement of the economy. I this time do not think it's going to work because we have inflation.
But Trump gave us stimulus checks, Miracle.
Well, he needs to run them again. Unless he about to run them again.
What about we give us some stimulus eggs?
Stimulus eggs, right?
He better run them again.
Not food bank stuff. Not the food stamps.
Listen,
maybe.
But we have inflation. We got the wars.
Yeah.
We got tuberculosis, bird flu, COVID, RSVP. We also got trade wars.
RSVP,
right?
Yeah, I don't know what RSVP.
RVS?
RSVN or something like that was one of them.
RSVP? Where you going, Miracle? You RSVP into the next Trump rally?
All right. Anyhow, be the as a you know what? That's okay.
I'll see you there, Miracle.
Our truce going, Miracle, so I can tell our audience.
Our truce is about to end. It was a good.
Oh shit!
It was a good attempt at a month. Now we have all type of stuff. We also have looming foreclosures.
Yeah.
The highest increase in homelessness.
Yeah.
They said car prices about to skyrocket.
At this point, they don't give a rat's ass if the person talking to them is black, brown, or white. If they're going to have no food, nowhere to live, nowhere to go, no medical support. So I don't think the same tactics that he used before is going to win.
Right. And
I would also think that even now, the media is not a lot, but like 2% more savvy onto him now.
Yeah.
So they are calling him out.
Right.
They are saying like this doesn't make sense, and you now have his own surrogates being like, "Bro, my eggs."
Yeah, I mean, but look, so
that's just a funny statement.
Bro, my eggs.
No, his surrogates are saying, "Bro, my eggs." That's funny.
His surrogates.
Yeah.
I see it. It was a double entendre. That was a bar.
That's like a quadruple entendre. Really, Miracle was.
One of the groups that were frustrated with Donald Trump were a group of Venezuelans because Trump ended the temporary immigration program for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans.
300.
And it was basically they had this protected status under this temporary protected status that made them like legal migrants. Now Trump is taking that away and setting the stage for them to be deported. This is what some of the Venezuelan migrants had to say.
Conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed. Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
Oh, I thought you had a different clip that you wanted to play. A different sound drop. They lied to you to get you to vote for. But that's the thing.
They said you're gonna be Venice waving goodbye.
I guess the jokes are back. You can stop playing that. But again, it's like you thought you were one of the good ones, and this is where them people of color. It's like you thought because you were standing next to Donald Trump,
not Haitian.
Yeah, you had the little red hat.
Not Haitian.
Or the guy who, was in handcuffs and had the Latinos for Trump shirt on.
That was fake, but not Haitian.
But again, it was fake, but good. I liked it.
But look, it's real though.
It's real.
The photo might have been fake, but the fallout is very real.
And so you thought like, oh, they're going to get them, not us. And guess what? And we was telling you, oh no, they're going to get you too. And you didn't want to believe us. You wanted to believe that your proximity to whiteness was going to save you.
I don't feel bad though. I don't feel bad at all, man. You voted for this. Yeah. Like you voted for your undoing. Like you successfully were duped.
Yes.
You successfully bought into the American dream. Yep. What you failed to realize is that you didn't. There wasn't even fine print.
No.
What did Malcolm X say? It's an American nightmare.
You voted to deport yourself. Yeah. Literally.
Yes. And not, not
go ahead,
right.
Miracle.
Yeah, go ahead, Miracle.
No. People who are getting deported cannot vote. So let's.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So they voted to deport their family members
and
friends.
Yes. Thank you for the semantics.
Now you want to think about semantics. Where were you just 45 seconds ago talking about RSVP? Really?
RSVP and RBS are two totally different things. That's not semantics.
This is semantics because people cannot vote if.
Yes, that is the correct.
If they're not citizens.
Correct.
And if you are deporting somebody at this juncture,
yes,
now they are proposing,
but they're voting against birthright citizenship and naturalization.
They're proposing to put criminals, anyone who's convicted,
they trying to kick,
to El Salvador.
They trying to kick Native Americans out the country. This is
wild,
some wild shit.
But
I seen someone said the Puerto Ricans are about to get deported. I was like, to where?
Yeah.
But it also goes again, like I said, when you pretend to be ignorant.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Puerto Ricans were Americans, right?
Yeah.
That is the thing. But I also want to point out, and yes, these folks were lied to, but where was the Democratic Party? Mm-hmm. What was the Democratic Party's outreach to these
They were at
communities?
Popeyes.
I hear you. That's crazy.
Wait,
Miracle.
Joe Biden was in every barbecue spot trying to get elected.
They were in the barbecue.
I wasn't being funny.
Miracle,
that's where they were.
But Miracle. Wait, hold on, Miracle. I have a question.
We're not going to blame.
Wait, before you finish.
I will always.
Miracle.
Yes.
What?
So you're saying these people are that stupid?
Oh, wait.
There's no way that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what personal responsibility?
There we go.
And the reason I asked this because
personal responsibility.
Yes, the reason I asked this
is
Mr.
because,
Trump. Wait. No, the reason I asked this because when I was on a plane and that white man that sat next to me tried to get me to vote for Trump, and this is what he said. He said, "Can I send you a video?" And I said,
"It's always videos."
I said no because I read. I read. A video being sent to me that's edited, whatever, I can't. No, I read, my nigga. So isn't it something to where these individuals, these Venezuelans or the black people or whomever, all of these people that got duped by Donald Trump, where don't they have responsibility to look at and it's not even like you got to study. Look at this man's whole history in his life.
Correct.
He's never fucked with anybody but white people. His whole entire, it's laid out right there in front of you. So if you voted for that,
correct.
How can you then?
But be that as it may, if there is no alternative for you,
there was.
There was.
What was her plan for the Venezuelans?
Better than deportation.
Right. How do you? Where?
Her plan was to keep their protected status.
But did she tell them that? Right.
I'm sure she did.
That is my thing. When we talk about politicians and going outreach and having,
but Miracle,
if y'all don't shut the fuck up and let me finish, goddamn.
Listen to the YouTube comments, Farouk. We have to be quiet and let Miracle finish.
What I am saying is, yes, Venezuelans and a lot of these communities are traditionally anti-black. Let's be very honest, right?
Yes.
So this one lady, I saw the video. She was like, we have to distinguish within the Latin American Spanish culture, those of us who are Caribbean and those of us who are Latin and those of us who are Spanish. But we know a lot of these communities are already historically anti-Black.
Right.
So what you saw for some people is being like, oh, that community is anti-Black. I'm not going to engage that community. Right. That is not my ministry to reach out to these communities. And so what I am saying is like, yes, it's very easy for us to be like, ha ha ha, your family is going to get deported, without saying like, also, what are our alternatives? Not only back then, but like right now, how are we going to go out and reach these communities? How then also do we make sure that wait. How then also are we going to make sure the politicians who come to our communities and give us promises are going to keep it? Because what I would say is like, as we're laughing at Venezuelans, we also have to be laughing at our Black communities who are still suffering, who still don't have clean air, who still don't have clean water, who still don't have affordable housing, who still don't have hospitals within our regions. And politicians came and promised us the same thing. So while we're laughing at these Venezuelans, we're kind of also in the same position that they are in. And not like us in Pittsburgh, but like us as a collective, because so many of our communities are still struggling. And so that's what I am saying is like, yes, they should have taken a step back and had some type of proof. For me, when he had that Madison Square Garden rally and there was nothing about like, it was all negative about Hispanics and Puerto Ricans. Yeah. I kind of have been like, yes, that was been my like little like maybe not. Let's circle back and figure out what is going on here. They didn't do that, right? But this other idea of what messaging is resonating to make people feel like they are different. Why did Venezuelans feel like when they were talking about immigrants?
It's called white supremacy.
That it was not being
that's the question.
Because they have talked a lot about TPS, and they had said, and for over a year, that anybody who got TPS under Biden was going to have it lifted because they felt that it was an incorrect system. And
that was their main talking point. Yeah, that was their main talking point.
And maybe instead of telling people that J.D. Vance fucked couches, we should have been going to these immigrant communities and say, hey, they are going to take away everyone's status. If you have a family member who's on status, you need to make sure you vote for the Harris team. Right. But again, that's also messaging from the Harris campaign that did not come out.
I agree with you 1,000% on the angle of messaging, right? But again, personal accountability, like the parable of the scorpion and the frog.
Not y'all be having Republicans on the show.
No, but it's just like, but
no, I understand what you're saying. I do think there is personal responsibility. I think like politicians lie, and they should have known that. Yeah. For me, I'm not going to say every single Venezuelan.
They like you said Republicans have been on the record for a year saying they're taking away TPS.
Yes.
And again, but like you said,
everything is going.
Oh, they're saying the Haitians. They were focused on the Haitian community, and they were like, "Oh, they're going to protect us." And again, they lied to you to get some votes.
They were eating the dogs and the cats.
They're eating the dogs and the cats.
And I think again, this is why solidarity work is so important.
Come on, Miracle.
And that is why we have to be in solidarity with each other.
Talk about a declaration of
solidarity. George Jackson said you got to like settle your quarrels, because it was so easy to throw out these communities and be like, oh, that's the immigrant I'm talking about. I was like, nah, bro, you're all immigrants.
But can I talk for me? I have at this big age, that I'm in right now,
a sickness with no mask. Continue.
Yes,
and you were called an immigrant to your face,
which is hilarious. Yeah,
although
can we talk about that?
Dual citizenship.
Yes.
Yeah. So Miracle and I were at an event. All of us were at an event actually, except for you.
Yes.
But you had your own shit.
But his business out there. Continue.
I mean, he had a very good reason.
Yeah. I know, but I'm saying we're keeping it fair.
Yeah. Miracle and I were up there, and one of Miracle's friends, who's
our canvasser,
comes up to me and leans into me.
Says, care and concern and an urgency to support.
Aren't you afraid of being deported?
Oh, shit.
Wow.
That's how she started the conversation, and I just busted out in laughter because, I mean, it's a valid question, but this brings me to my point. At this age that I have made it to and doing the work that I do, being where I am right now, I have absolutely zero interest in walking in and communing and creating solidarity in the communities that don't recognize me or don't want to have the same conversation with me. So if you're a Ukrainian, if you're Canadian, if you're French, if you're Venezuelan, if you're Nicaraguense, if anything, right? If you harbor anti-black sentiments and that's your line right there, I don't feel bad that bad things happen to you, especially if you voted for them. So I don't care personally. I don't have it in me to want to have that dialogue with somebody who doesn't want a good thing to happen to me.
I hear you, right? However,
there's no however for me. That's a full stop.
Okay, I hear you. And I think there's like an emotional response.
That is my logical response.
But there's also a how are we organizing for the future response? And so as an organizer, you can look at this as a moment to say, hey, Venezuela, instead of laughing, to say, hey, how do we come together and maybe protect TPS, right? Can we begin to organize to keep it? Are there going to be lawsuits to keep TPS? Because it's not just going to affect Venezuela, it's also going to affect our Haitian brothers and sisters and some of these other temporary protected classes. So I agree with you. We're going to play the little Curb Your Enthusiasm and we'll get a laugh, but there's also a moment to begin to increase this our solidarity and our
what am I supposed to say besides I told you so?
But what I'm saying is, well, you can say I feel for you. You have to go back to this country that maybe there might be some political reasons why you're not there. There might be some actual reasons why, you had to leave. And you can say, like, how do we find out a way to bring you into this tent of folks that have been organizing against the Trump campaign?
But that's the thing. Like,
been trying to push back.
If the messaging was so effective to you to where, the anti-blackness of it is what brought me to this point, right? Yes. I don't care where your logic is, because it's like you don't want to be in the tent because there's black people there.
Well, you didn't. Now you probably want to be in the tent because either it's in the tent or you got to go back to your country, right? So now you're actually maybe a little bit more amenable to organizing with folks, right?
I mean, but yeah, after it's too late.
Well, I mean, that's how you learn. Sometimes you learn by getting a whooping, right? Sometimes you get punched in your face and you're like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that to that guy because I got punched in the face. I probably should have used a different logic and reason. And again, we're from the older school.
But that's the thing. How do you, there's no after you've been deported, what do you say? Like, come back this time? Like, you'll learn better next time? Like,
yeah, I tell the story of when I was in daycare as maybe 6 or 7 years old. And I got smart with the teacher, and the older kids took me into a basement, and they did a thing called cave your chest in. They held me down, caved my chest in, and I didn't talk back to a teacher for about 10 years. So again, I learned through like pain and hurt, you know what I'm saying? But I learned, and it was like, okay, so this could be a moment for Venezuelans to realize, oh no, they meant you too.
And it's not, I'm not talking about Venezuelans. We're talking about Venezuelans for Trump.
Yeah, for them too. Yeah.
Right.
So I want to say a couple of things. The first thing I want to say is we as people have to be careful the way we utilize this idea of objectivity, because what you're saying might be logical, but we can't negate the fact that logical conclusion is coming from an emotional standpoint.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we use logic to shield the sentiment behind the messaging we're trying to put out, right?
Yes.
So, and then I want to follow that by going back to, it's Black History Month, so I feel like this would be a great time to shout out Chairman Fred Hampton and his Rainbow Coalition.
Yes.
And how his messaging was essentially like, okay, you might hate who I am and what I represent, but where did you learn that hate from?
Right.
We need to come together under a common enemy.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you might not have showed up for black people. Yeah, you might have this anti-black rhetoric, but you learned that from the same enemy that I have. And because we have a common enemy, how can we put our differences aside and realize that we actually have a common goal towards liberation?
I hear you, right? And I'm not going to make an emotional response to that.
Okay.
Because Fred is a very important person to me, and he was to my father. Mm-hmm. That being said, fuck that. Because if you start as anti-black and against me, that's where it ends for me. Right? Like there's no talking point after that. There's no middle ground. There's no mediation. If you come into the space where it's like, I don't commune with black people, that's all I need to hear. That's fine. Good luck. Good night and good luck.
Miracle.
So multiple things can be true at once. Like, yes, you have your personal organizing boundaries.
Yeah.
Right. But then also,
that's a great point. Yes.
But then also there is systems theory and systems change. This idea that we don't fight people, we fight systems, and we organize people to push for movement building and movement change. It is not my ministry to work with white supremacists. Yeah, it is there are other people that I refuse to work with, right? Because that's not my ministry. That is somebody else's ministry. That's somebody else's skills and tools that I do not possess. And so I do think a part of movement building is understanding where your own personal boundaries lie. That's very important, so that you do not hurt. So would I send you to go organize with the Venezuelans for Trump? No. Would I send somebody else to do that? Probably yes, right? So that's one thing. But also, like, white supremacy messes with us all, so that we, again, cling to thinking, like, if I hate this black person, then this white person is going to love me, then this white person will protect me, right? Then when it's like, oh, snap, this white person doesn't love me, now I have to, like, think about asking for help from this black person that I hate. And that is these cycles that we are forced into. And my thinking is, like, if we understand we have our own biases and privileges and beliefs, what it would be like if we created a systems change wherein we wouldn't have to have a TPS because we wouldn't be messing with other countries. Right. Or we wouldn't have to worry about being deported, or we wouldn't have to worry about, like, war, violence, and crime, or gun violence, because we changed the systems that hurt us all. Because then in reality, you and your friends could be over here, me and my friends could be over there. But I think that we get so caught up in in capitalism, trying to be the most powerful, trying to be the most rich, that we forget that we're supposed to be there to change systems. And we forget we're supposed to be there to shake tables. And then we get complacent. And then we like power. And then we like, nice things. And then we're just like,
well, again, so just speaking on that, because okay.
I read the man's name, but he's a senator. And at first he just said he was not going to, vote for JFK. He was going to vote down JFK, so he wouldn't put...
JFK is...
Y'all know I am dyslexic. You know what I'm saying.
Is not available to be voted for.
Anyways, but he was saying, like, I'm not voting for RFK. I'm not pushing him out of confirmation hearings.
It is kind of crazy that JFK and RFK both had holes in their heads.
Yeah.
Correct. But my point being, he then in the hearing said, I'm changing I'm changing my vote because it's an election year and I want to be reelected. Because I want to stay in this position. So I am no longer going to do this right thing because I have this ego and I want to protect myself and the power and the prestige that I have for this position. And that is where a lot of our organizing has got, is like people have gotten to positions of power and they're like, oh, I like this.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, well, if you critique me, you just want what I have, right? And so now we have created these same circles and replicated the same violence, and we have to move away from that if we're actually going to survive the next 4 years.
That was great. Go towards or maybe, again, maybe people had a set of information about what Donald Trump was going to do. Folks kind of didn't really believe it. Folks believed kind of the lie that Trump was going to do something different. And now Trump is saying that is not only floating the possibility, but saying out loud that his plan is to not have any Palestinians return to Gaza and to actually turn Gaza into like some resort paradise. Did you want to play that clip, sir?
This is called ethnic cleansing.
The United States taking over a sovereign territory. What authority would allow you to do that? Are you talking about a permanent occupation there?
Greenland.
Redevelopment? And Mr. Prime Minister, do you see this idea as a way to expand the boundaries of Israel and to have a longer peace, even though the Israeli people know how important that land is to you and your citizens, just as the space is inherited by the Palestinians as well?
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent in a really magnificent area that nobody would know. Nobody can look because all they see is death and destruction and rubble and demolished buildings falling all over.
So you can pause that. So again, this is, we had like the blacks for Trump. Then we had the like Latinos for Trump. There was also these like Muslims and folks that either, I don't know if that was necessarily appropriate at that time, but that either were pushing for Donald Trump or people that did not engage. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw all this stuff happen in Michigan.
You mean the uncommitted?
The uncommitted, right? Mm-hmm. Now
they did uncommitted did engage, but continue.
Right. Yeah, the uncommitted did engage and endorsed Kamala, so we can't disrespect them. However, like did
so let's
miracle.
Yes,
miracle.
All these Trump people, how are you feeling right now? Checking in
on miracle.
How we feeling?
Yes. So like, let's be.
Because you're talking about like, let's be clear. Before you go, you're talking about like eminent domain. You're not only talking about like. Like people from Gaza not being able to come back, right? But then what about the land that they owned? What about the place? Like, are they compensated for that? Were they just going to send them to Jordan and Egypt and nothing?
Take a second. And what was the plan that was in effect from the Biden administration at the time?
Again, it was very weak. However, it
was the same exact thing. So here's what people do. Let me listen.
Kamala was going to come out and say, "Yo, we taking over."
Kamala said she was not going to move away from Biden's plan,
and that was the reason she lost.
October 24th.
Let's keep it real.
On October 24th, 2023. October 24th, 2023, the Greater Israel Project Plan was leaked and released.
Okay,
and that was
this was a Democratic plan. You're saying
no, that was the plan for it. That Netanyahu's cabinet was saying that they were taking Gaza, they were going to take land in Iraq, take land in Jordan, take land in Egypt,
and take land in Lebanon. I think.
And Biden said, "Oh wow, that's wild," and then kept leveling, and kept telling people, "You have to leave." You have to go. And then they took the Rafah border, and then they took the crossings, and people were like, well, we're stuck. We cannot go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then the bombings continued.
But can we bring it to right now?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Trump would not be able to say Gaza is uninhabitable right now without the actions of the Biden administration and the Harris administration, number one.
Yes. But then, wait. So, but he also, not only Trump did that, remember, he also took away, one of the things that the Harris-Biden administration did was say if you're had settler violence in Israel, you weren't able to come to the United States. Trump took that away.
After Blinken pulled it back beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
We're talking also about U.S. troops being in Reza. We forgot when the pier was there, that was U.S. troops running through Reza and killing people and killing Palestinian civilians.
Okay, I didn't know anything about that.
So everything that Trump has said is stuff that was already happening under the Biden-Harris administration. And Harris multiple times said there is nothing different that I'm going to do than what Biden has already said and done, publicly and privately.
So is that
for over 2 decades, the U.S. policy has been to ethnic cleanse the Palestinians. And everybody was like, hey, Kamala, could you be like, no? Could you be like, not today? This is not. And she wait. And she refused. In this particular situation, the Biden administration, the Harris administration, and the Trump administration were all aligned. Jared Kushner was talking about Gaza being condos 6 months to a year ago.
Yes.
And nobody was condemning it.
People condemned it.
No. Those contractors.
No Democrat condemned that.
Not like they should have. Because most people weren't even saying Palestine and Gaza. I have seen more people say Palestine and Gaza in the past 24 hours than I have seen in the past year and a half. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. We have seen more people say ethnic cleansing. We have more people said racism. We have more people said, oh, Palestinians deserve to have self-determination and dignity. When at the UN, when there was a vote to say, do Palestinians have the right to have self-determination and dignity, UN, U.S. vote under Biden said no. Mm-hmm. Right? So we, in this instance, cannot compare them to Venezuelans for Trump or blacks for Trump, because the oppression is still the same. The violence is still the same. And one person said, actually, the violence is not the same because they're not being bombed as much right now. They're probably going to be bombed in the future. But at this moment, they're being ethnically cleansed, but not bombed. Under Biden, they're being ethnically cleansed and bombed at the same time.
So are they better off now? Are you saying that?
The situation is still the same is what I am saying.
Well, it's not the same if you're saying...
They're alive right now. They're getting health care right now. They're getting food right now. Like, right in these periods right now. That's hold on. For the purpose of pushing them somewhere else. And that has always been the question. If you are going to advocate that Palestinians do not belong on the West Bank, do not belong in Gaza, where do you believe they should go?
Right.
And what have you built or created with them, either for them or in partnership with them? Right? We're talking about moving over 1 million people, and everybody keeps saying, like, where? Because there's nowhere that's been built for them. There's no, like, you talk about Dubai built, their whole entire country, all type of stuff. Everybody keeps saying, there's money for the Palestinians. We're going to build, they're going to have nice things, pretty things. Trump has said this. Biden has said this. Harris has said this.
Oh, he about to build, but not for them.
But where are you trying to build, right? This idea, I forgot what I can't say what's called for the new Secretary of State, and he was like, we have to give people hope, and we have to put them somewhere.
That's Rubio.
No. Or where's Steve? He's the guy who's working in the Middle East envoys.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
Whatever his name is, right? This whole idea is keep saying we're going to displace them. Palestinians keep saying we want to go home and stay home. But if your alternative is we're going to move them to the Sinai or somewhere else, why is it not moving ready right now? Right? And that has always been the conversation.
Well, it's not.
Why is it?
It's because Jordan and Egypt are saying, no, we do not want Palestine. And then the Palestinians themselves are saying,
Sinai
we don't want to go.
Up.
Right. But I'm saying the Palestinians themselves are saying, we don't want to go there. Correct. We want to go to our homeland.
But I'm saying if the alternative is we're going to move them somewhere. The reason we keep asking where is that somewhere is because there has been nothing built or created for them. So it's this idea of like saying like you need to leave your abusive boyfriend, but you can't stay with me. You can't stay at the shelter. You can't stay at the street.
Go stay with your cousins.
But you need to go somewhere, and we don't even know where your cousins are.
Right,
so that is where we're finding ourselves at. And it's also this idea that Palestinians are not able to be in this conversation. Palestinians are not on these TV shows. They're not on these pundits on this program.
Yeah, that's very real.
They're not having the conversation with the department.
They're not standing next to Donald Trump because that was Netanyahu.
Right. And so we also are speaking for an impacted community that can speak for themselves if we actually want to listen to them and give them the time of day. But my argument would be whether it is Harris or Trump, this position would have been the exact same because the U.S. policy has not changed. Okay. And I would also argue that the Trump administration, through their verbiage, has been more kind, more supportive of the Palestinian people in the past 2 weeks than the Biden-Harris has been in the past year and a half. What did Trump say? He said there's death and destruction. They've been murdered. They've been shot. They've been harmed. There's no water. There's no food. Right? He said that the envoy, like, we need to do something.
But he's saying that to say
to justify his ethnic thing.
Yes.
But also, what the second part is, which caught everybody by surprise, which has been the first time in our history, is that now we're saying Israel doesn't own the Gaza Strip. We're going to own the Gaza Strip as the United States. And even Netanyahu was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, if you
and we're going to make money off of this.
And now there's now another fear of saying, like, well, if we're going to give Israel $300 billion and we kind of like fund Israel, why don't we kind of just own it ourselves?
Yes.
So now that is now a bigger conversation that is now percolating in the air. But what I will say...
We're running out of time, Miracle. Okay.
Go ahead.
We're running out of time. Okay. I have another clip for you. Okay. Now we're trying to find something that Trump has done so bad that Miracle cannot blame the Democrats.
And you can't because we are in this position because of them.
Miracle.
Biden should have dropped out a year ago. We should have had an open convention 6 months ago.
Miracle, there was a hearing about the new Secretary of Health and Human Services.
That was your friend.
RFK.
JFK.
RFK.
I'm JFK from now.
It ain't JFK that came back. It's Dr. Sebi.
The other guy with the worm in his
Dr.
head.
Sebi.
Right. So this is what and shout out to the sister because she's the new senator from Maryland.
Angela.
Angela. She asked RFK about a quote that he made, Angela also Brooks, in 2021. Can you play that clip?
February 26, 2021, an interview with Dr. Judy Mikovits, where you said the following, and I quote, "We should not be giving black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their immune system is better than ours." Can you please explain what you meant?
There's a series of studies, I think, by
that's the funniest part.
That show that
Poland? There ain't no black people in Poland.
Antigens that
what does Poland know?
Blacks have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
So I have 17 seconds left. Let me just ask you then. So what different vaccine schedule would you say I should have received? What different vaccine schedule should I have received?
I mean, the Poland article suggests...
Well, how black are you? Are both your parents?
Got 8 great-grandparents, 4 great-parents, and 2. Like, what is the breakdown? No, and my fear...
What Democrat has...
My fear is that the Dr. CB Blacks saw this and we're like, oh, see, we are
RFK is a hotep.
We are no.
Were the worms in his brains Democrats or Republicans?
But this is the argument that black people.
He said, "I'm gonna stand on business."
That black people can have higher thresholds of pain.
Yes, exactly. That black people don't feel pain. The black women don't feel pain.
Hold silkness longer. Need less anesthesia. Need less antibiotics.
Yes.
This is that line of thinking.
Yes, absolutely.
And for black people to be like, see, we are special. This is them saying that they're about to take the medical support, the lack of medical support away from you, the medical support that is already harmful in our communities because we have long wait lines. We can't see doctors. We don't have adequate health insurance, adequate health care. This is them basically saying we are about to be back in the days where you have to go to the vet to get support.
Yes. This is what's so crazy about this episode. Who knew? Like, we started off the episode with Trump blaming Biden, and we
ended with Miracle blaming Biden.
Miracle blaming Biden.
Because it's Biden and these billionaires
and the DEI
who do not give a fuck about our country.
Is it Biden and DEI?
It's billionaires and DEI. It's these people who bought our country and who bought these politicians who do not give a fuck about us, who are literally like, you know what, I want to play with people's lives today, and have literally ego has literally brought us to this point because had Biden kept his word and said, I'm only running for one term and allowed people to have our free and flowing democracy in action, competitive presidential primary, we would not be in the situation that we are in today.
I wonder if in year like 2 of the Trump administration, when we're all like, when we're podcasting from like some
prison, it's still going to be their fault.
Some eggless basement. Will Miracle still be blaming Joe Biden? So
Joe Biden, the billionaires, and let's be very
this week in white supremacy drinking game is like Miracle blaming the Democrats, Farouk being racist.
What did I say? I didn't do nothing.
But then also we have to think about the reality is in Pennsylvania, Philly was not adequately engaged. Atlanta was not adequately engaged. Because now I want to defend my freedom, my free. But even the mayor of Al-Aqaba was talking Biden about.
When Miracle talks, we need Arabic subtitles underneath.
Let me talk. I'm talking about my community because I was in rooms when I was sitting with black men who said, "Stop saying felon because you are hurting the work that I am doing as a returning black man who is organizing hundreds of thousands of people, and the campaign said, "Oops, not going to stop doing that." Right? So I was in rooms.
We're here.
No,
Trump is president. What are we going to do?
Trump is president, but we
can't go back in time and re-elect Kamala.
No, that's what you were trying. Then why would you try to get a gotcha moment with the gotcha thing? That's what you were trying to do.
Gotcha moment.
It was trying to be a gotcha, and I was like, "This is the context
real
conversation." Of that. But what we are going to do moving forward is understand that we are all impacted by white supremacy and violence, and to build build solidarity.
But that's a weak argument, Miracle.
That's
weak. We all know that we're affected by the same
no, we don't.
enemy. Yes, we do. That's why we have the show.
No, a lot of people thought it wasn't them. A lot of people thought,
then whose fault is that?
I had to fight Trump one time and I'm done and I'll be okay. So what happened was under Biden, when we were trying to build solidarity, let's be very honest, because we tried to reach across the aisle for a lot of folks, and when we're told no, we don't want to work with y'all and we don't want to talk with y'all. We tried to bring multiple communities together. Let's be clear. And people were like, no,
if you don't let me in your house once, Miracle, I'm not going to come back to your house and ask to be let in.
I feel that.
So now it's fucked up for everybody. Now people are like, oh, I'm actually going to die. So now I have to work. So the difference now is we have to understand we're not friends.
So it's better.
We're not friends. We are people in arms trying to fight for a better world. But I'm not about to have tea with you. I'm not about to hang out with you. So one, that emotional stuff is thrown out the window. Two, that friendship stuff is thrown out the window. Now it is all general orders and effect what we're going to do to fight. And what we have to do now is even bully our own politicians to show up to fight. We have to bully our own politicians to vote down people. That is the work that we're doing now. And when we talk about building solidarity, it's not building friendship. It's building action and having everybody take that action, figure out where they can make a difference, and doing that. We are not running together as friends and hanging out and partying. It's like, no, whose office are you taking over?
Yes.
Whose protest are you running? What bills are you writing? Who are you supporting? What anti-doxing platform are you engaging in? And what rights are you fighting for, so that in 4 years, 6 years, we're not in the same things, because we have pushed a universal platform and principle where we all have our own rights protected, so we can just go about our lives and have fun. That is the difference.
I'm with you for like 85% of that. I'm like we're aligned on a lot of that.
The other 15%
is the lack of personal accountability and making it seem like these people can't understand what's bad for them. Like when you're saying like, you know, Trump is putting them in healthcare. What's the Quran say? Tamar and oppression are worse than slaughter, right? And there's and that manifests in a whole bunch of different ways. Just because I'm fattening you up for the kill, that doesn't mean I have your best interest involved.
Correct.
With you.
But then also what we have not talked about at all is that the fact that there are Democrats who pushed money into Republican candidates because they did not want progressive. No, because they did not want. Let me finish. Because they did not want progressives to win, and therefore gave more money to actual Republicans than Democrats and progressives.
What's crazy?
When we go
I'm with Miracle. I'm with Miracle.
When we go to jail, Miracle's gonna be like, "Yo, I blame Joe Biden."
No, I'm not even talking about that. But I'm talking about the reality is on the ground. We're going to talk about how do we get here. You cannot sit there and say this Republican is racist and wants to kill you, but FYI, I've donated money to his campaign, and now he's like, right. So we have, when we're talking about the messaging, that's also what we have to fix. Is people also don't only pay attention to what we are saying; they look at what we are doing, right? And that is all. But
they called us Democratic apologists how many times for this show?
Right.
I think Miracle was brought that thing.
But I think, we look at Adam Schiff in California. He did not want to have two women competing against him when he was running for Senate. So what did he do? He put millions of dollars, into this far-right candidate. And then we were like, oh my God, why did California turn red? Well, because you put money into this candidate, you uplifted this messaging. So we also have to take accountability of what is actually happening and how much money is in our politics.
Accountability is the wrong word to use in your argument.
Get money out of politics, get these billionaires out of politics. And that is where I think we could focus on.
I agree with you, but Miracle.
Yes.
I agree with all of what you're saying.
See, y'all started with me, and I will go down my argument 24/7,
Nobody started with you.
I'll be Miracle from the red clay, and y'all will not move me.
What I'm not trying to move you, but what I'm saying is people were given a choice, and it was a clear choice.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. It was chaos, or it was we're going a particular direction. Is it the direction that we all want to go? And is it the utopia that we're fighting for? And we've been organized for? Wait, listen. No, it's not. But we saw this man was president for 4 years. We saw what he was going to do.
He created the Muslim ban. And how the fuck did they go and vote for him then?
And people decided that a black woman was a bridge too far. And that they were going to go ahead.
Your anti-blackness is going to be the color of your own demise, and I'm okay with that.
And vote for this white man, and we're here now. And my energy, and for my black excellence, my energy, that Kendrick energy, right? And my energy is that Janelle Monáe dissing Nelly to his motherfucking face. This is the Black History Month energy that I want. While playing his song.
I used to like Nelly, but then he went to perform.
Fuck that nigga.
You showed out. I used to think you was cool, but now you look like a mother fool. Going to the inauguration to participate with some who don't give a about who you feeling.
I love my non-binary royalty.
I wish we had the dirty version of that. And apparently Nelly was in the crowd while she performed "Hot in Here," Nelly's song, and then took the time to like. That's the energy I'm on. Real rap. Like again, I think your conversation is a totally different conversation because there is this, and we're way over. But there is a separate conversation about. The Democrats' response to all of these Trump things has been so weak outside of like Jasmine Crockett and Summer Lee and very few others, right? Their response has been so weak in the face of all of this Trump stuff. We don't know where Biden is. I don't know if Kamala is coming back out or not. I guess she deserved a vacation. You know what I'm saying?
We don't need
so
them.
there is a conversation about that. But I think like right now we have to say accountability is like, this is who you voted for. And so you have to take blame for all this stuff that we see happening. Those Venezuelans, unfortunately, you have to take blame for your family members being deported. You're going to have to take the blame. Those Muslims that voted for Trump wanting a different outcome. I understand that. But then you're going to have to take the blame. You're also going to have to be accountable for all the positions we've seen when he started filling his cabinet with all these right-wing people. So again, yes, you got to take the blame for that. And we can't put that. We can have a whole separate conversation about the Democrats and they have been super weak in their response. You know what I'm saying?
God is on the throne, just
in the majority opinion. But now
God is on the throne.
Who said that? Somebody said that?
Hakeem Jeffries. He said presidents come and go, but God is on the throne.
Yes, please. Again.
Always on the throne.
Yes. With that being said, we're way over.
You said you wanted to do 2 hours.
Let's keep
going.
We didn't get to this Karen that called everybody.
You know what we need to do?
What?
We need to land this plane.
Wow, that was pretty bad. We didn't get into the NFL saying they're going to remove end racism from the fence. The NFL was like, well, we tried to put end racism. We got 2 black quarterbacks. I guess we won racism. So our white pages this week.
Black Radical.
The Life and Times of William Monroe Trotter. This is by Carrie K. Greendish. What was also interesting was how well Farouk read. All of a sudden, Farouk can read when I'm not on the show. This nigga is reading.
It comes and goes.
like a genius.
Like Miracle's Allegiance, it comes and goes.
Oh, shit. Unearthing the lost. No, Miracle. That's Mashallah Miracle. You better put some respect on her name. Unearthing a Lost Legacy. Black Radical establishes William Monroe Trotter as the essential link between Frederick Douglass and the modern pantheon of American civil rights heroes. Black Radical is a great book to build your education on. Final comments.
Our truce is off. The light-skinned bully is returning next episode.
Which side of me are you going to bully? The black side or the Arab side? Because we know where you stand.
Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh.
Well, I would say you're neither, so let's go.
It's funny because the light-skinned bully is going to return the day after Kendrick goes and just embarrasses Drake.
Well, after Trump, Miracle got what she wanted. Trump's in office now, so it's like, she's like, yeah.
I'm about to tell him to take your papers and make you leave.
Oh wow! But he's
going to take your country and then he's going to take your papers.
If you're talking about first birthright citizenship, then you're talking about Native Americans don't qualify. Obviously, you would go after dual citizenship next.
Oh, absolutely. That's the most logical step.
And he looks.
Oh yeah, and his name's Farouk Al-Said, and he works for One Hood. He's just a whole bunch. This nigga got 10 strikes. He don't got 3 strikes.
I'm gone, bruv.
My brother.
They gonna call me Guantanamo Geronimo.
My only words are never lose sight and trebles not light skin.
Yes.
NLS.
Yes. Farouk.
I'll see you next week from Gitmo.
But no, but and
will they be serving us eggs? Like
jokes.
I probably have Cuban eggs. Yeah.
Jokes aside, like what's going on?
Huevos
is really nothing to joke about.
Correct.
So if you are in Pittsburgh, you can reach out to Casa San Jose for support. They can direct you and help direct you to resources, care. You can also reach out to Casa National, Muslims for Just Future, a lot of organizations who are actually trying to do the work that we not really have the capacity or the emotional intelligence to do.
Which was clear on the show.
So reach out and support those organizations. But then also you'll probably see it. We have HIV. For people in Pittsburgh,
yes.
We are hosting, Black HIV AIDS and awareness events because culturally, I guess no longer nationally, but culturally, National Black HIV AIDS and Awareness Day is this weekend, and so we're hosting an event on Thursday. So it's free to the public. You can come in Thursday at 5:30, and then Friday at Trains Uniting starting at 4 p.m. I will have some programming as well, just talking about the states of supports that are needed to reduce HIV and AIDS in Black America under this new administration. We don't know what PEP and PrEP and stuff is going to be available, but we just wanted to invite you all out. So this will air for those in Pittsburgh. You should be able to support us. Those watching nationally, probably not, but yeah.
With that being said, I guess I made up for being off because we did like 2 shows today. If you tune into us the whole time, thank you to our Free Speech TV audience. You'll probably see half of this. But anyway, we'll be back next week with more arguing.
I was right.
Peace.
I was right then, I'm right now, and I'll be right in the future.
One hood.